Alright, hello everyone. So today, here we are. Now I've already posted the swing hours, and these are the swing hours for today. This is gold. Now with gold, on the weekly, remember we did the weekly PST level, 812715, coming back into 2715 on a Monday. And I did say this is a good reversal hour as well, the closing. And the market did a nice job going all the way up. Now yesterday it didn't sell off much, and I did say Monday was either going to be a high or the low of the week, because we did the high, we had a good pullback, but you can see we didn't break the weekly PST level. So it came back for a good buy kiss exactly at the trading hour, making a reversal, and just kept pushing up. Now on our PST level, okay, those of you who are using it, this is the LCL1 line, and there is no LCL1 line because this is like extreme levels. Okay, these are like extreme levels. Same on the monthly. All right, same on the monthly. As you can see, this is an LCL1 line, and there is no LCL1 because it's an extreme level. Now, when I get this updated, it will have still pricing no matter where it is, but for the moment, that's how it is. Now, the last daily is 78, which is 2,751. Now that level is already breached here a little bit, okay? So this zone is a bit tricky at the moment. Now the market came back into 2737, and those of you who are using your PST should have been on top of it, because that was the daily PST level at 72.98, 273792. So you should have been in there around 2,780, 2,738 or maybe 39, but daily pivot was there, so you should have been in there at the right time, which was there on the pivot right there. All right, and that, as you can see, pushed us up. Now there are a few things to look out for. Gaps are around, so there's a gap here, there's another gap there. All right, so there's another gap there all the way down into the weekly. So we have to be a little cautious. And because there is no pricing on the PST, I had to do Astro pricing. And that gave us a 2,765. Okay, so the market does still have room to go up there, which is fine. And as you can see, it's really not breaching this line, it's hanging around here. Okay, which is that channel which it broke out of. Okay, so it's just doing its basic goodbye kiss motion. All right. It's also, if I was to draw this, all right, if you've learned from me, you would have been on top of your game, because you would have mirrored that out, and that would have been your mirror there. Okay, pretty much there. So this is your mirroring out. Okay, so this will probably come up, and that's fine, and sooner or later we're going to have to break that. Okay, and this is basically it. And if I was to do this, a little adjustment on this like that, okay, as you can see, we're all on the edges there. Okay, so that's from there to there. All right, so this has got some room to push up, so be mindful. This is at 2,765. Now if I was, like, I'm calculating it with respect to Astro levels, so that's one level there. If it goes above that, okay, then you have to keep in mind 2,601. But that's for today. Okay, every day I'm going to have to change these, so be mindful. All right, that's gold happening here. Market's still going up. As you know, the next swing day is not today, and there's still room. So the market can still muck around here, or it may come back down into a swing day, either back here or lower. Right? So Wednesday is a bit tricky. Remember, also keep an eye out for the news and the news hours. All right? So those are the hours for today. If it comes back down, going up is okay. Okay. If it goes back up, I wouldn't be too, enthusiastic yet until we get a sell sign. And it's not a swing day, so I wouldn't do anything crazy. Okay. euro dollar. Now with the euro dollar, remember I said this zone is still got room to go down. Why? Because of the monthly. Alright, so we still have room to come down. 0754 plus this zone here 46, which is 0690, 0717. Right, so 0717 is all the way down there, and that's down here. Okay, so this has got room to push down. The 0755 as well, as you can see, it's on the 0755. Where did I put it? On the weekly, maybe. On the month. Oh, it's on the price on the monthly. Okay, price on the monthly there. Okay, so this zone the market's going to come into, and pushing further down is also an option, as you can see. So no big deal. If you sold the top on this there, I did say this was the target. It came here. If you took your money, you should have been pretty good. And that's basically it. You can sit and wait on this one, because we don't have a swing day on this one yet. And that's basically it. Okay, let's take a look at SP 500. Now with the SP 500, I gave pricing last, I gave the pricing for these yesterday. That was at price. As you can see, it just came short of there and sold off. This was the zone which you could get in at. Okay, so that was the buy. That's the sell zone. Okay, just like we've learned in technical analysis, nothing dramatic. Okay, with the ATAM strategy, it's already drawing all that for you. Okay, so that's the impulse, that's the flag formation, so selling high, buying low kind of thing. You're only going to be selling the high on a swing day. As you know, Tuesday was one of those days. Dow Jones had Monday and Tuesday. Alright, so on Tuesday, that's the Monday, on Tuesday, you are either going to buy the low, Tuesday making a lower the market to go up, or sell the high, continuing from the Dow Jones. Either way, you should have been okay. Alright, as you can see, these are the buying hours right at the lows, at the PST levels, pushing up into the swing hours, close to the PST levels, pretty much selling off. Okay, so, and no mucking around in the middle of nowhere, and this is in the middle of the channel. As you can see, middle of the channels are always choppy. Right, so you don't want to be mucking around there. Now what to do with SP 500? Now Monday, Tuesday, okay, has a possibility of being a swing high or a swing low. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. Let's check out the weekly as well. Okay, this is the weekly, right? Now we still have a bit of room to come down into 64, which is 5,800. Okay, and 62 is 5,761. But that 5,800 is your initial bet. 5,800 is going to be down here, alright, which is there. So I'll leave this here because that was, I think, a daily level. Right, on the daily, that level which has been done, okay, is your 57, which is 582325. Okay, lower than that is 51, 5795, which works out fine with our 5,800. Okay, so if the market wants to keep on selling down, coming down there is okay. And if you take a look, this is exactly where the gap is on the market. Right, so the PST levels are spot on covering the gap. So if it does come down here, I'll get rid of this. You can dive in at the swing hours to go long, okay, and that can happen this week because it's a weekly level on the 5,800. Okay, if you want to sell this off, also doable at a high of 68.69, I guess. And that level is going to be 5,885, and that's quite high. Okay, 5,885. Now if it gets up to there, okay, and you want to sell it off, only do so if it's a obviously a swing hour. Alright, so other than that I wouldn't do anything with it. We can extend this and include that in there. Okay, but because that's a PST level, I'm going to push this up because I don't want to be in a wide range. So I'll take the closing price and the PST. Okay, and that could be it. So if it start to break out above the high of yesterday, don't muck around with it. Okay, because it'll probably push up and you'll be, stopped in the middle of nowhere. If the market doesn't go above this zone, so we got what does that mean for us? It means we put up trading hours, and if during New York session we're like up here, whatever, and we can catch a sell setup during the hours. Okay, so then you're going to have to wait for those swing hours, which are posted. Okay, if during a swing hour we are down somewhere and you want to follow the push of this impulse wave, that's not a bad idea either. Okay, you're either going to do that from here, or you're going to bring it down to a level. It's going to be 37.5 zone here, okay, which will be this zone here. You see what I mean? So during a technical, if we're at this trading hour coming down and you want to go long from the middle to push up, it's also doable. Okay, why? Because at the end of the day, the trend is in an upwards motion and we're in a correction. Okay, and if that's the case, Monday, Tuesday can be a low pushing further up, so we don't mind. Okay, but this zone, understand, is a bit tricky, so we'll have to be careful. All right. And if it starts to break out, obviously we've got room to go up as well. So both ways you can play it. If you're on a pullback and we're at a trading hour, you can want to push up either at this zone or lower. Okay, if we start to break down, we're coming down, so don't stand in front of it trying to buy it. Okay, let it go, wait for the next swing day. Okay, and that's basically it. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now, if Dow Jones Monday, Tuesday you sold off because it was a swing day, you should have been just fine. It pushed down. Let's see where we're at. And it came down, I think, right into our PST level 2. Right in there. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, you can see Dow Jones swing day. We still might have a bit of room to push into there. If you take a look at the weekly, we're right on the price target zone there. You see, that's the goodbye kiss. That's that. Still a bit of gap, but still, that's fine. Now that level is 66, 42,768. Okay, 42,768, which is the weekly, and that's where you could have bought yesterday. Okay, and that's the sell-off level yesterday. So it's all good because that was the closing of the previous day. All right, Monday, market closing there, touching it there. This is the opening, market opening here. So between the opening and closing prices, we've got the swing hours selling off beautifully. Okay, now this can still sell off. We've got this zone. This is not a buy zone but a target zone. Okay, so you've got to target that down because this is that zone here, and you've got to be careful. Don't stand in front of it because of this. Okay, 42,379. Also on the weekly, if it breaks below that 66, which is 42,768, that's a weekly level. If it breaks below that, you don't want to be standing in front of it trying to buy it unless you want to scalp it. Okay, and I'm not really in favor of that, but if you want to do that, then if this level matches a trading hour, you can scalp it and just get out. Okay, other than that, I wouldn't muck around with it if it breaks below, because you're breaking a PST level on the weekly, and that's fine. If you bought yesterday here, you should have been really good, despite the fact that it's against the move. Now Tuesday is also a swing day, so Monday high, Tuesday low. Can the market buy? It certainly can. So if we dip down here and we stick around here, the market still has room to push up. So if at trading hours we're at lows and the market is like buying from on top of that line, which is that HCL1 line, 42,788, all right, which is right there, okay, then this zone is okay. But if it breaks below that, keep a tight stop loss. If it breaks below it, you just have to let it go, okay? If you want, like I said, wait for the trading hours and wait for a U-turn setup with a tight stop loss. That's also doable. NASDAQ, I said don't muck around with it, despite the fact that I did give prices on NASDAQ yesterday. And I said from the highs you can sell, from the low you can buy, but don't muck around in the middle, okay, which is our general strategy. Now, as you can see here, if I tighten this up a little bit, this is a sideways market, right? So we're consolidating here, okay? So yesterday that was a PST level, spot on at the right time. Okay, so I've got time and price, and this is the kind of trading you want to do. Down here, look, we're at the lows, we've got a price, we've got a time, we're at the lows, you can buy. We've got a time, we've got a price, you can sell, because these are things you can do with a tight stop loss. If you're getting in a trade in the middle of nowhere, like here in the middle of ranges, then this could go either way. This is why I don't like this zone. The only time you can do that, if you're a good trader with your technical analysis, you can do the breakout goodbye kiss at a trading hour. So we've got a breakout, pullback. If it's a trade hour, you can go with it, okay? If it's not, then you're, obviously this is, if it's not a trading hour, it's not a part of my strategy, so you're going to have to do it according to what you think. But you can do it that way as well, because that's going to be the impulse which broke out, then that's going to be your Fibonacci retracement, and if it comes down into a discount zone of 37, there you go, you're good to go long after that, okay? But other than that, I wouldn't muck around inside the mid-range unless you're really, you know what you're doing. So now we've got a high and a low. Now with NASDAQ, I did say I prefer not to muck around with it. That's still the case. This could go either way, right? Because we've done a good buy kiss yesterday, this can shoot up, okay? And if you want to buy it because you think that's the way it's going to be, then you're going to have to come down here to the weekly or this zone to shoot back up again, because there's a gap here, there's a gap here, and if the market comes down, the only place you're going to have to buy again is going to be the lower end of the market going back up, okay? And that's about it. So other than that, I still say don't muck around with it. Wait for next week. We don't have to deal with it right now, okay? With Bitcoin, I also said, NASDAQ, instead of NASDAQ, you could do Dow Jones. It looked clean yesterday. Dow Jones was looking much cleaner. So it's just good to follow down. Now this is Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin swing day was Monday. Alright, so that's your Monday impulse wave market going sideways. I did say the highs you can sell off, as you can see. I also drew this like a runner, okay, but it turned into a sideways channel, which is also fine, not a problem, okay? So now we're in a sideways market. That's fine too, because even if you do have a runner like this, you expect the stops to be taken out. So as long as we're not breaking the high and closing above it, we've got nothing to really worry about. It's still pushing down, okay? So this is nicely off the weekly pivot there. If this thing breaks down, we've got room to come down. Why I think it's going to break down? First of all, this is the first level, and second of all, look, the buying reaction, there is some buying reaction, but it's not really a good buying reaction. Okay, why? Because it's too far up there. This is a sell zone, and you don't want to be buying inside a sell zone. This has got room to come down. If you want to sell on a retracement to push down in an Astro hour, you can. On the weekly, okay, it's got room to come down. I've marked them in before. 54, 65, 218. If it breaks that, 61, 974. So no buying at the tops, sellable, yes, into those zones at least. Okay, at least into those zones, and I think it might even come further down. Okay, we've done the first target there on the monthly too. Okay, and we'll see how that pans out.